Welcome back to Archie Sonic Dissected, everybody. Today we'll be covering issue 3, published on June 29th of 1993, and once again written by Michael Gallagher. We open our first story on Sonic zooming into Knothole headquarters to tell Sally and Boomer some urgent news. Apparently Robotnik is planning to use some kind of bomb, and Sonic heard him talking about it passing through Robotropolis. The gang decides to do something about this in what is our first of many oddly political components of the Archie Sonic series, this time focusing on an anti-nuclear stance. Well, I guess it makes sense given the subtle environmental quirks of the series' early story. Robotnik, meanwhile, hears about the protesters coming in and mishears it as Protestants, to which he claims that he banned all religious expression a long time ago. Oft overlooked piece of trivia here. Looks like Robotnik was a militant atheist, and Protestants exist in the Archie Sonic universe? I'm not really sure I want to think about the ramifications that knowledge would have on the larger canon, so instead of dwelling on it, let's just move along. Sonic and Co. peacefully protest with picket signs disapproving of the bomb, which, considering they're in a robot-infested city belonging to their violent sworn enemy, seems like maybe a weird idea. Of course, when Robotnik gets the swap bots out to go crush the rebellion, he discovers this was simply a ruse, with Sonic projecting images of himself and the other freedom fighters onto the wall with the projector. While Robotnik and his crew lay in a crumpled heap on the curb, Sonic and the others leave to find the bomb. Boomer disguises himself as Robotnik in order to boss around his lackey Crabmeat, but Crabmeat becomes suspicious after, while in disguise, Boomer says, "please," which is something so uncharacteristic of Robotnik that it's an immediate giveaway, evidently. This gives way to an extended bout of Scooby-Doo-esque costume removals, with Boomer and Robotnik both leading Sonic to become tired of the shenanigans and use his super speed to swirl around them and remove all of their disguise layers. The Freedom Fighters are finally able to secure the bomb and take it back to Knothole, only to discover in the end that the bomb was actually just a bug bomb that Robotnik had purchased because of an infestation at his HQ, leaving him to deal with the insects yet again. Overall, this isn't a bad story. It's kinda goofy, sure, but honestly, the punchline was well delivered, somewhat unexpected, and made complete sense in retrospect. The subject of the Freedom Fighters' fears were well-founded and made some of this story feel even a bit tense, which in return made the revelation all the funnier by the end. A decent addition in the early story roster for sure. Our next major story opens with Sonic being summoned to check out some pictures that Boomer took. Seems like Robotnik has been making some inroads into southern Mobius, and Boomer's aerial shots proves as much. The both of them decide to head down to the scene to investigate, and upon their arrival, they see something pretty shocking. A team of SWAT bots is hoisting up a Rabbot girl and shoving her into a portable roboticizing unit, determined to turn her into another mindless robot slave worker. Sonic spins through the machine and turns it off, but unfortunately he's a tad bit too late. Though Bunny hasn't been fully roboticized, she has been turned halfway there. Oh, and here's a longtime character, by the way. This is Bunny Rabbot. She'll be around for a while. This is her first appearance in the comic proper. Anyway, Sonic and Boomer take Bunny back to Knothole Village, where they realize that because of her robotic parts, Bunny is actually incredibly physically strong. Offering her talents to the Freedom Fighters, she's accepted right away as another member of the growing resistance movement. Just then, a Burrowbot begins to tear apart the great forest above ground, with Sonic and Bunny racing up to confront it. Bunny prevents Sonic from getting squashed underneath its tires, but he's blasted away while he's trying to fend the bot off. Bunny interjects again to use her super strength, picking the entire robot up and throwing it back onto its head. With the robot suitably incapacitated, Sonic finishes the job by spinning a trench in the ground around it, causing it to collapse and submerge the bot in dirt and rubble. The day is saved, the Freedom Fighters get a new member, and we've still got a long way to go. Overall, this is a pretty good story too. Not a lot happens, but it is short and to the point, while suitably well handled for the introduction of such an iconic character. Bunny is likable and unique from the very first impression she makes, and from here on out she'll have some pretty good moments worth looking out for. That's all for this edition of Archie Sonic Dissected. Next time we'll be tackling another interesting animal problem, as well as getting our first glimpse at Sonic's signature superpower. See you then!